Y'all, I thought we would start in the island garden. This is one that we started working on this year, and I am just really surprised that it's doing so well. But we've had a lot of rain lately, and so I think that has helped in this garden growing so fast. So right along here, I had some alliums that have already bloomed, and then through here are my irises. They've bloomed already. I've got some lamb's ear here. All of these things were planted this spring, except for a few. Like, for example, this Brazos penstemon, it was planted in the fall. Here is my salvia in white, and look at how big it's gotten. I've got 2 of those, and then I added some red ones to go along with it. So here are my red ones. I'm sorry about that sun. Let's see if I can get a better picture. And then over here is another red one. Over here is my blue mist flower, and the butterflies are going to love that. Here is one of my Rose of Sharon, and guys, this one is white, and look, I have several buds on it, so it should be opening up pretty soon. Over here is another penstemon. I have 3 of those, and they're growing, so I'm really excited about that. Now here is this rose bush that, guys, I'm going to have to move it. I'm just trying to wait until the fall to move it, but as you can see, it is still not blooming the way it should be. There's something going on with this plant, and I don't know what it is, but it's not dead, so I'm going to keep working with it. Over here is where I planted my loropetalums, and they are coming along really nicely. This is a plant that I really do love. This is called Mango Tango Hummingbird Mint, and there's another name for it that I'll put on the screen so that you will be able to find the proper name for this plant, but isn't it pretty? And then over here is Agara, and it is the white one. It's bloomed already. I'm going to come out here and remove some of these spent blooms so that it will continue to bloom. Another one of those mint plants. I pinched off my Autumn Joy sedum, and I put a piece down off in here. All you have to do is just pinch it off, take some of the leaves off, and stick it in the ground, and it'll grow. Another mint, and here is a planter that I put together. It has some vincas, they're white, and they're starting to branch out, and these vincas are the ones that are trailing. And then here is my red hot poker. Mine is yellow, but at the tips it tries to be a little red. Over here is my Sunshine Ligustrum, and it is coming along. I've got my grass over here, and it's called Platinum Beauty. And I have a heliotrope here. I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see it because the sun is shining right into the camera. But this is a heliotrope. It's the white one. They smell really good. Now, this one's kind of struggling a little bit. I don't know if it's getting too much sun or what's going on, but I'm going to do some research and see if I can't find out why it's not performing a little bit better. Now over here is another Rose of Sharon. This one is going to be purple or violet. It's so hot out here right now, guys. It's like 85 degrees, so everything's looking a little wimpy, but this evening I'll give it a good drink of water and that should help them. Over here is a pot that I planted with some vincas and some marigolds and some creeping Jenny, and it's growing and filling out. And then over here, guys, my hydrangeas are continuing to throw out lots of leaves, no buds yet. I'm hoping that they will bloom this year. This is their first time in the ground. It's not, they haven't even been in the ground a year. So they're doing pretty good. I'm real proud of those. Here is a Yaupon holly. I've had this in the ground a couple of years, but I had to keep it covered because the deer, even though they don't like this, they were chewing on the leaves. Over here is another hydrangea. This is the Limelight Prime hydrangea, and I broke off one of the stems, and I'm so sad about it, and I just kind of keep sticking it back off in the ground hoping that it will take root, but I'm sure it won't. But guys, over here I have a Japanese maple. I'm so happy about it. It's tiny as can be. I got it from Mr. Maple, but guys, I think it likes its place because look, it's not dead yet and it's been in the ground about a month. On this side of the dry creek bed and island, I have my drift roses. They've already given a very beautiful show, and so now they're just trying to take a rest. I did cut off some of the old spent blooms to give the energy back down into the plant, and hopefully that will help it to rebloom in the future. Now over here I have some Nandina. It's Fire Power Nandina, and they seem to be happy in their place. Right here is one of our banana trees. It keeps giving off new leaves, so I think it's pretty happy. I stuck in another Autumn Joy sedum over here, and then I planted up this pot with some creeping Jenny, some vincas, and geraniums. And these geraniums are going to be red, and I got these on the clearance section, or in the clearance section at Lowe's. Here are some more pots over here. This one has some vincas as well as some geraniums, same color geraniums, but they seem to be loving their place. I'm having a problem with my strawberries. These are my grandson's strawberries, and they gave off maybe like 5 strawberries, and since then they've been just kind of stagnant, so we'll see what goes on with that. More vincas here, and here is another one of those Platinum Beauty grasses. Guys, look here. I transplanted these lilies over here, and now they have some buds. So I think they are going to settle in and make this their home. Here's another one here. Now the plants in between is a red salvia. It's called a Roman salvia. When I get around to the other side, that may give you a better view of that. Another one of those Platinum Beauties. Guys, we recently put in this canna. It's red and it's already putting out another leaf. Here is the other banana tree, and it's growing very well. And guys, the elephant ears are starting to come out of the earth. That's 1, that's 2, and look at that one. That's 3. Y'all, we recently planted this peach tree, and funny thing is I had to bring it home in my truck, and it wouldn't fit in the bed of the truck, so I had to have a part of the tree hanging out the window, and it really damaged some of the leaves. So hopefully this tree is going to bounce back. But guys, can you already see it has some fruit on it? Let's see, right there. So we are hoping to have some peaches. Peaches are my favorite fruit, so we'll see how that goes. Now this is my pride and joy. Guys, look at this red bud. It's called a flamethrower red bud, and it has the most beautiful color. Look at the leaves, they're heart-shaped. I was so afraid that it wasn't going to make it through the winter because I planted it back in the fall, but it made it. And so I am just so happy and proud of this tree. And look at this. He has no business being over here in my yard. Let's see if he'll move. Come here, little bunny. Now, if you notice, I don't have any grass back here. For some reason, the grass does not grow, and I'm working on trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this area. I may make it all flower beds. I may plant some clover, not really sure. Here is one of my Rose of Sharons. It's another one, it's white. And this one has a few buds on it, so I think it's going to bloom. Over here is a lime tree that we planted, and it keeps putting out beautiful flowers, but no limes yet. We'll see how that goes. We had lots of rain over the last couple of weeks, and the dry creek bed, it worked beautifully. I was so happy how the water just drained right off. So we're going to go on around to the side bed, and I'll meet you over there. This is the east side of my house. I planted up several pots. This one right here has the same plants as the other ones with the geraniums, the creeping Jenny, and the vinca. Now this is the east side that I have showed you guys before. I call it my Zen garden, but look at how my Veronica are blooming. This one is starting to bloom as well. And this one has been blooming for a while. But notice they are 2 different colors. This one is more of a blue, and this is more of a lavender. I've got a pot planted up here with some petunias and some marigolds. More of my lamb's ear. And y'all look at my beautiful phlox. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love it. Here are those hot lip salvia, and they have just opened up and spread like crazy. More of them here. Some of these are mixed with hot lips, and some are just red. But notice how beautiful they look together. I want to get in closer so you can see what I'm talking about when I say hot lips. See, they have a little white and red on them. And then over there in the middle of all this salvia is the Henry Duelberg salvia. That's a great plant. On my last video, I showed you guys the ajuga that I planted, and it's trying to take, some of it is looking a little wimpy, but I'm going to give it some more water, and hopefully that will bounce back up and cover this area here, just like the ajuga over here. Over here is a big pot of Autumn Joy sedum. It's doing quite well. Here is my fall obedient plant. And like I told you guys, I only had one plant. It self-seeded, and now I have dozens of plants. I've already given some away to some of my friends. I still have my violas and my pansies. I just can't bring myself to pull them, even though I know that they are on their way out. I went ahead and I cut my East Friesland sage, all of the spent blossoms, so that they will re-bloom. Over here is where I just pinched off another one of the Autumn Joy sedums and stuck it in the ground, and it's seeming to take. I am going to have to deadhead my Gerber daisy so that it will send up some more blooms. Guys, I moved my columbine over here because it was getting too much sun, and I think it's going to be okay here. I'm going to have to keep an eye on it to make sure that it settles in there. More Friesland sage and my clematis. It's coming on up the trellis. As a matter of fact, it's already made it all the way up to the top. And this clematis is called, I always have to look and see, it's called Bee's Jubilee. Here is, I can't remember the name of that, but I'll have to tell you. I think it is coralberry. That's what that is. That's coralberry. I have more violas. They're just so pretty. My Peggy Martin, it's already bloomed and now it's taken a rest. But look how much it's grown, and it's already at the top of this trellis. The Gaura over here is starting to bloom. I have several different types of Gaura in my garden. I don't know the names of them, but I just know that they're Gaura. These pots are really growing, and dianthus, and also this one is called Baby Sun Rose. It's an ice plant, and look, it's starting to put off some little flowers on it. I moved some irises over here. And here are my black-eyed Susans. My lantana is coming back from last year. More East Friesland sage. And guys, look at my coreopsis. I need to get out here and deadhead so I can have some more blooms. I have my Russian sage mixed in with my coreopsis. It's starting to bloom as well. This pot over here is filled with more violas. I added those marigolds in here because I know that the violas will eventually be fizzling out. And I have some dianthus that I put in here. I just need to come and snip it so that it can produce more blooms. Now guys, I'm on a septic system out here, and so here is my septic system, and I went ahead and potted up these plants to try and give it a little bit of beauty. So I have some Mandina. Is that Mandina or Nandina? I can't remember. No, I don't know what that is. I'll have to look that up. But some dianthus. I put some Society garlic in here. And over here I have a canna, And it is so beautiful, guys. I want to show you all the different colors of this one. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I just love it. Now, I picked that up at H-E-B. That's a grocery store here in the Houston, Texas area. Mandevilla, that is the name of this plant. Okay, I knew it would come to me eventually. Some more dianthus here, some society garlic, and over here I have some marigolds. Now we'll go around to the front. I almost forgot to show you this part of my side garden. This pot is filled with the Mystic Spire salvia. Guys, look how big that stalk of blooms are. Oh, it's just so pretty, and more to come. And then I have the beautiful marigolds. I love marigolds, even though they stink, they are very, very pretty. There's my little froggy, and he's full of marigolds and vincas as well. And more of my Russian sage. Now this Russian sage is 2 seasons, so you can tell that it's a lot more established. And then over there, in between it, is the blue mealy sage. And guys, look at how beautiful and big it's gotten. Y'all, on the front side of my garden, I have a lot of weeding to do. But my irises have already bloomed. My cotoneaster, it is looking really good. I've got that Henry Dulberg salvia that's growing like crazy. All of this has already had its spring show. This is my spirea. And here is my Yaupon holly that I had to shape into a topiary. It was damaged during one of the winters and I didn't want to get rid of it, so I just made a little topiary bush out of it. I think it's so pretty. Look at this Henry Dulberg salvia. Now look at this, guys. This is unusual. Some of it is blooming white. And I was online and it seems that several of them are blooming white this year, and I really don't know why, but look at that huge bumblebee. He is getting all that nectar. Oh, I just think it's so pretty. And you know what? It comes out into the pathway and I don't even care. I just think that's just so pretty. I've got my Texas sage here. We had a lot of rain and they're supposed to bloom when we have rain, but for whatever reason, this did not bloom this time. I was kind of surprised. Back in the back is my abelia, and it's just growing so well. And guys, look at this. My Copper Canyon daisy. It is getting so big. Hopefully it's going to start to put out the blooms, which are yellow. It's so pretty. Last year it got huge, so this is the second season for this plant. And look at this right here. Oh my gosh, this iris has bloomed and bloomed and bloomed. Then it stopped and started blooming again. But I've had this iris for a very long time. As a matter of fact, I dug it up and brought it here from my old house. Back over in the distance, we have some more society garlic over there, along with some more of that Henry Dulberg, and more of it here. It's just so pretty, guys. And it's just a no-nonsense plant. You don't have to do anything to it. It doesn't even require water. I believe it's a Texas native, if I'm not mistaken. Here are my hedges. And then over here in the corner, is another late blooming iris. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, more of my hedges here. A friend of mine gave me some plants and I need to do some research on them. I'm going to put them in the backyard. They don't like sun, so I have to get those in the backyard. And then over here is what I call my perfume garden. Look what's blooming. My penstemon is blooming. And recently I noticed that my coneflower is bouncing back. They were just being eaten up by I don't know what. I sprayed some neem oil on them and look at that. I'm getting ready to have a bloom. Now my drift roses, they've already performed. I need to get out here and finish cutting them back, as well as this rose bush right here, which is my Carefree Beauty rose bush. Guys, I was really disappointed. This is my peony. It did not bloom this year. They're real finicky. So I am going to keep it here though and just feed it and see if I will get some blossoms next year. Now my Purple Heart has already bounced back and it's growing. Here is another one of my drift roses that I need to get out here and prune. And then I moved that same iris over here so that I could have some of the same irises here. Along my fence are my hedges that I'm trying to get to grow up and kind of give me some privacy over here. This Carolina Sapphire Cypress, it's doing very well. And then over here I have my black, I think it's called Black Diamond, but it's a crepe myrtle. I'm really proud of these cypress because they are bouncing back. They struggled. I put them in last fall, and so they haven't quite been in the ground a year or a season, but they are doing much, much better. I think they're starting to settle in, especially after we got all that rain the last couple of weeks. Over here is my wax myrtle, and look at how it's putting out all these new leaves. So it's doing well. And then guys, look at my fig tree. It's growing, putting on new leaves. I don't know if I'll get any figs this year, but that's okay as long as I know that it's still alive. This right here, this cypress was the one that was really struggling, but I think it's going to make it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to continue to fertilize it and keep water on it to see if that doesn't bounce back. Now I wanted to show you one of the new plants that I put in. This is called a smoke bush. It's teeny tiny, but hopefully it will get up, start growing, and it'll probably end up being about 8 to 10 feet. So that'll be good. Now over here, this is one of the most recent flower beds. And I have got a lot of work to do out here in this flower bed because I put down the cardboard, but over here I had a lot of grass, and the grass keeps trying to come up. I mean, it's really hard to kill that Bermuda. All right, so here is my Mexican buckeye. It's doing very, very well, putting on new leaves. And then over here is my orange cestrum. I recently planted this, and guys, I am loving the flowers that it puts on. So I think it's trying to settle in. Okay, so over here, sorry for the camera, over here is a different type of Gaura. It's a little bit darker in color, but it's doing well. And then my Asiatic lilies are doing well. But let me show you this grass that keeps coming up. So I'm going to have to take some time to come out here, uncover this, and pull more of this grass up, and then add some more cardboard, and I think that should do the trick. I recently put in this trellis, and I added some purple hyacinth beans, and they've already sprouted, and hopefully it's a vine, and it will come on up this trellis and make a really pretty show. Guys, I'm still struggling with this Distillium. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time to see if it doesn't bounce back, but this is the deal. I've done the scratch test and it's still green, so I just don't understand this plant. If you guys know anything about a Distillium, please let me know. Over here is a coneflower that I had to transplant, and it's doing a little bit better, and it's already looks like it's going to start blooming. More of the Gaura, more of the coneflower that I put in. Here are some vincas that are looking like they have some chlorosis. So I think they may have gotten too much rain when we got all that rain the last couple of weeks. But here's a new plant that I put in. It's called a Texas Star Hibiscus. And it's supposed to have red star-like flowers on it, so it's settling in. And guys, look at this beautiful phlox. Isn't that pretty? I transplanted this from one area to the other, to right here in my garden, and it just never stopped blooming. It just has done so well. I'm real proud of that plant. More of the lilies. They've already bloomed. Here is my Jerusalem sage, and it's growing, putting out new leaves. I've got some salvia greyi and white, and then this beautiful purple color. Now, the white one was supposed to be purple, but it turned out white, but that's okay. There's another purple. They call this blue, but I like to call it purple because it looks purple to me. And look at my rock rose. Wow, it is full of buds, and there's one that's already open. Now, this plant opens during the day and closes at night. And then, of course, my beautiful, beautiful mountain laurel. It is so pretty. Let's go on over here and look at my raised beds full of zinnias. Now, I started to thin these out, but I got a little lazy. Didn't feel like doing it, and I don't know if that's gonna be a problem because look at that. But we'll see. If not, I'll just plant me some more. They're seeds. I've got some more violas here that they just don't want to go away. They're still loving it, so I'm not pulling them out. And then more of the zinnias. Over here, I've got 2 tomato plants. This one was struggling, but now I can see that it has some tomatoes. It has some fruit on it. So I think it's gonna be okay. Ooh-wee, look at that. That's a big tomato. I am going to have me a salad. How pretty. Some more rock rose right here. And look at those lilies. They are getting ready to start blooming. I can't wait. Guys, this is the first year that they've ever performed this well. It's like, I think they're just happy now because I thinned them out and they have more room to grow. Another rock rose over there. And here is my mums. They're called garden girls. They won't bloom until the fall, but they're here. And then I have some elephant ears over here. Now I'm gonna get over here and clean this bed out because I'm going to be planting some other things off in here. Well, guys, that is my mid-May garden tour. I hope you enjoyed this video, and come see me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.